This partnership, these sets of agreements, and the hard work and commitment has actually set Kaiser Permanente and its unions apart from everyone else in the country.
Kaiser Permanente is known to have one of the only majorly successful labor management partnerships. As stated by Stanford Graduate School professor Jeffrey Pfeiffer, Kaiser is one of the only organizations that is trying to build a genuine partnership between its unions and management. Because of the competitive pressures that come with the health industry, a partnership such as Kaiser's is incredibly difficult to maintain. Due to years of labor turmoil between Kaiser Permanente and its labor force, 26 local unions representing Kaiser workers joined together to create the Coalition of Kaiser Permanente Unions. It was this coalition in Kaiser that came together to transform both the relationship and the organization as a whole. Today, the LMP covers about 92,000 union employees, showing the major success of this partnership. Kaiser's labor management partnership is defined by working in collaboration in a model of mutual respect. Managers and physicians work together by using joint decision-making and a problem-solving process based on common interests on a day-to-day basis. Although both parties accept that the health industry is not a static one, they operate by a certain web of rules as described by John Dunlop. Even though the actors have differing ideologies, they work by a common understanding of their roles and responsibilities and attempt to adapt to one another accordingly. Employees also work in unit-based teams, which have been credited for not only improving patient satisfaction, but creating a better work environment. As stated in a case study conducted by Eaton, Kochen, and McKersey, the partnership is perhaps one of the most comprehensive and complex partnerships in the history of U.S. labor relations. Despite being one of the first of its kind, Kaiser experienced many successes in its first years of partnership. One of the biggest successes included using interest-based processes to negotiate a system-wide collective bargaining agreement, which the authors noted as one of the most significant negotiation breakthroughs of our time. Following this introduction, we will continue to discuss Kaiser Permanente and the processes used for the partnership.
In 1997, Kaiser Permanente and a coalition of 10 national and 30 local unions signed an agreement to create their labor management partnership. This partnership is a form of labor management relationship that affords workers and unions strong participation in a broad range of decisions from the top to the bottom of the organization. Over the past decade, it has grown to be the largest labor management partnership in the U.S. history of labor relations and is a strategy used by Kaiser Permanente for maintaining their high performance. The National Labor Management Partnership Agreement describes the vision of a workplace environment where diversity of opinion is valued and all stakeholders share a voice in decisions that affect them and their work. The vision of this partnership is an integrated structure where the unions and their members are part of the decision-making forums. In 2000, it was recognized that prior to reaching this vision, parallel structures needed to be implemented in order to organize, plan, and apply the partnership principles. These structures were meant to be steps toward integration that would change as the partnership evolved. A variety of partnership structures exist at the national, regional, service area, facility, department, and work unit levels. In addition, there are various business structures which attempt to solve the same problem or achieve like goals. Partnerships should become the way business is conducted at Kaiser Permanente. In order to achieve this goal, these parallel labor management partnership structures should be integrated into existing operational structures of the organization at every level. This would result in dissolution of parallel labor management committees that are redundant with ongoing business committees such as department meetings, project teams, or planning committees. Parallel structures may still be required when there is no existing function, where existing structures are not enough for certain function, initiative, or area of focus, or where they are necessary because of legal or regulatory requirements. New initiatives should include labor participation from their inception. Integration of labor into the normal business structures of the organization does not mean co-management, but rather full participation in decision-making opportunities and processes at every level of the organization. This is the Labor Management Partnership vision, which is reaffirmation and focus on the ability of the unions to fully engage and contribute. The parties will work together to ensure that union capacity issues are adequately addressed. Engaging employees in the design and implementation of their work creates a healthy work environment and builds commitment to greater organizational performance. Successful engagement begins with appropriate structures and processes for partnership interaction to take place. It requires the sponsorship, commitment, and accountability of labor, management, and medical and dental group leadership to communicate to stakeholders with that engagement and partnership is not optional, but the way that Kaiser Permanente does business. The establishments of teams based in work units are a core mechanism for advancing partnership as the way business is conducted at Kaiser and for improving organizational performance. A unit-based team includes all of the participants within the boundaries of the work unit, including supervisors, stewards, providers, and employees. Senior leadership, medical and dental groups, and unions in each region will agree on a shared vision of the process for establishing teams, the method for holding teams and leaders accountable, and the tools and resources necessary to support the teams. Unit-based team goals will be aligned with national, regional, facility, and unit goals. Implementation of unit-based teams should be phased beginning with labor management partnership readiness education and training of targeted work units, providing supervisors and stewards with the knowledge and tools to begin the team building work. As such, UBTs are expected to be the operating model for Kaiser. Stewards and supervisors play a critical role in high-performance partnership organizations. Where work is organized and performed by unit-based teams, the roles are very different from those of traditional work situations. References to supervisors in this agreement report to management representatives. In UBT, supervisors will continue to play a critical role in providing leadership and support to frontline workers. The role should evolve from directing the workforce to coaching, facilitating, supporting, and representing management through interest-based procedures and ensuring that a more involved and engaged workforce is provided with the necessary systems, materials, and resources. The role of stewards should evolve into one of a work unit leadership, problem-solving, participating in the organization and design of the work processes, and representing coworkers through interest-based procedures. The sponsors of unit-based teams have primary accountability for taking on active roles with their teams to identify resources and remove barriers that disrupt their team's success. Sponsors will receive more comprehensive support to be effective in their role. Sponsors will support UBT's co-leads to be effective in their roles and hold co-leads accountable for achieving results on the value compass. The value compass is an effective tool for their UBTs to set goals and solve problems. They apply the value compass to set meaningful, specific goals at the local level. If local problem-solving attempts to remove barriers and allocate resources are not successful, UBT sponsors will rise to senior operational and union leadership. Sponsors should focus their energy on helping teams achieve and ultimately sustain high performance and accomplish line-of-sight performance outcomes. Each regional labor management partnership council will review the various positions that are established under the national agreement, as well as positions funded through the National Labor Management Partnership Trust or local areas. The review assesses the effectiveness of the roles and leverages them to support UBTs and the work of the partnership generally. The region's medical centers, medical facilities, and national functions will assess whether the caseload for support positions is sustained and conducive to UBT development. The regions and medical centers will consider goals for these caseloads, which could vary based on factors such as team paths to performance levels, team size, and available resources. For developing a means to build direct accountability for improving the partnership, a committee of its own members is appointed by a strategy group. This enhancement includes a method for frontline union and management leaders to provide reciprocal feedback. The committee will provide these recommendations and a recommendation on implementation to the executive committee of the strategy group. Ultimately, this partnership unites managers, frontline workers, and physicians together in order to make full use of the expertise that each group and individual is capable of providing. Having these different perspectives helps bring about solutions that address or resolve a range of issues and as well as improve services and eliminate excess that drives up costs. frontline employees are able to offer more innovative solutions to problems at hand. Stewards are evolving into work unit leaders, and managers are transitioning from directing how work is done and into coaching and mentoring roles. Physicians are supported in providing high-quality, compassionate, patient-centered care. With these careful and attentive approaches, it improves the entire care experience for members and patients.
Kaiser Permanente has implemented corrective action and issue resolution actions in order to help solve management union problems. This process has two components. It has a system for raising and quickly resolving workplace issues using interest-based problem solving by those who are directly involved with the issues, and it is a method for resolving performance and behavior issues in a non-punitive fashion in which employee, supervisor, union representatives work together to identify the problem and craft a solution. Issue resolution is an alternative to, but does not replace, grievance procedures. It is raised at a workplace level. If at that level it is not resolved, it will then be reviewed by local partnership teams where they will try to correct the action. And if at that point it is still not resolved, it will be referred to senior union management where they will have to implement a change and correct the action. Corrective action is a non-punitive process that includes two phases. Levels 1 and 2 are a part of the problem-solving phase and are neither adversary nor disciplinary in nature. Their goal is to determine the root cause of the problem by identifying the issues affecting performance and to collaboratively develop options to resolve them. These levels are not informal and have no documentation required in the personal file. Levels 3 through 5 are part of phase 2, and this constitutes discipline. There's no punishment such as compensation without pay, but there can be termination if there is a failure to resolve the issues. Any employee who disputes any action under this procedure has the right to file for a grievance process. After dealing with issue resolution and corrective action, the partnership agreement review process takes place. It discusses the issues, decisions that should be satisfactory to all, understanding that parties may not always agree. If there is a disagreement between the parties, then senior union and management must attempt to resolve the issue within 30 calendar days following the referral. They will develop a consensus decision designed to resolve the issue. If consensus is impossible between senior union and management, then the issue is referred to predetermined neutral designee with 2 union and 2 management representatives. The panel will address it immediately upon receival. They then have 30 days to craft a decision. The mutual designee ensures the final resolution is a binding contract. Overall, Kaiser Permanente's labor management partnership has been extremely successful. They have resolved labor and management issues more effectively and efficiently than others in the same industry. By utilizing issue resolution and corrective action, Kaiser has created a very desirable and cohesive work environment. In the end, this desirable workplace makes Kaiser a more cohesive team, which results in a better experience for the patients. If Kaiser were to continue with the labor management process, would it be prudent of them to implement a backup plan? Based on the high success of this process, should other institutions within the health industry look into creating a similar plan? Only time will tell if Kaiser Permanente's labor management process will be as successful as it set out to be.